Hello, welcome to this edition of Install a Power Supply. Before you install a power supply, there are some cheat sheet you can apply. The first cheat sheet is to watch the video. Whenever you see the triangle, the right triangle, that means a video. You have to watch that video. For example, video 3144.4 is for you to watch before you do the mouse. The mouse is the layer. If you click on that, tonight we are going to apply two cheat sheets and get the job done. The first one I will not do. Watch the video. The next one is called the lab itself. It's called the score. After the lab has run, after the lab has ran, here is the lab. It's good to follow the scenario here, but sometimes if the scenario here get confused, for example, in this lab, on how to install a power supply, you can look at the shelf. Here is the shelf. You can close it up and open it up. Now you can look at the hard drive shelf. You don't need a hard drive for now. Click on a power supply. You have a power supply shelf. We have three that we need to install. But you need to know which one to pick. To identify which one to pick, just take a look at the lab. In this lab, your task, your job is install a power supply based on the following requirements. What are requirements? The first one, two. The power supply must have the appropriate power connectors for the motherboard and the CPU. Guess what? Motherboard and CPU. The next one is a power supply must support adding a graphic card that requires its own power connector. Those are the two requirements. Make the following connection from the power supply. Connect the motherboard, connect the CPU, connect the power of a serial ATA, connect the power connector for the optical drive, plug the computer in using the existing cable that is plugged into the power strip, turn the power supply on, start the computer and boot into the Windows. If you notice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 you have to do. Alright, if you do all that and you are still not getting the result that you want, you click on the Score Labs. The Score Labs is the next cheat sheet. Under the Score Lab, you will see again what you're asked to do. In this, locate the correct power supply to install. Above the computer, select the motherboard, switch the motherboard view. Select the motherboard to enable the view. From the selected component, select details to identify existing connector for the motherboard. Select the specifications, close the details. Under the shelf, expand power supply. Select power supply. From the selected component, install the power supply. Under the shelf, drag the power supply to the area in below. So you can click on this and save it as a PDF and keep it so you can make it a reference. We go to the lab folder and we will put the next cheat sheet under test out lab power supply. Let's call that power supply so you remember it. Install. Okay, now after you get the power supply installed, you can continue with your lab. Exit out. Alright, start the lab again. Alright, then the cheat sheet has been saved. If you have any problem, let's use a cheat sheet right quick. See how fast that could be. Let's open it up. And it's right there. Okay. The first thing you do, they were asking you for these specifications. Well, for the sake of clarity, let's take a look at the specifications. If you take a look at the motherboard, click on the motherboard. When that shows up, see the detail right here, and click on the specifications. With the specifications, you can see number one, number two. Number two appear twice. If you want to follow that, you go down. Number two appear twice. ATX power supply, 24 pin, 8 pin. That identify the power supply that you need. 24 pin and 8 pin. All right. You can exit out and then click on the supply. See a power supply? Look for the one that has 8 pin. If you count all this, is 24 pin. If you count this one, you got 24 pin and the 8 pin. That's not it. Let's look at this one. 24 pin and the 8 pin. That's not it. Try next one. Right, we got a 24 pin and the 8 pin. So you can go on with the work. Go ahead and drag it down there. And that works. You see the 8 pin? Go ahead and drag it down to where the 8 pin is supposed to be. And there you go. And that works. Okay. Now let's take a look at what next thing we need to do on our cheat sheet. Let's say select the motherboard 24 pin, we got that. Select the component, drag the power supply 8 pin, we did that. So number two, from the selected component, drag serial ATA. How many times? 1, 2, 3. We drag it 1, 2, 3. Let's find serial ATA 1, 2, 3. All right, we click one here. Serial ATA 1. Yeah, 1. That works. The next one, scroll down. The next one's your ATA 1, 2, 3. All right, we got that one. Serial ATA 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got that. Another one right there. Then we're done with the serial ATA. The next cheat sheet we have to worry about, we're done with number 3. Now get to number 4. Number 4, connect the optical drive. Serial ATA 1, 2, 3. Where would that be? It's highlighted. Drive there. Click on here. You're gonna find drive there. Click on the drive there. Drive there comes up. That goes here, and then you drag it down. Serial ATA drive there, right there. Boom, and that is done. Now let's go to the next cheat sheet. We have done A and B. The next one is number 5. Plug the computer into the wall, and then select the black switch to switch the back switch to the back view of the computer. All right, now here is the back of the computer, and now we have to do this. Install the power supply. Let's go back into the bear. Let's go to the front. This is the back. Here's the front, and here is the motherboard. We have to bring this down here so that we have the power supplies installed. All right, we got the power supply installed, and then we go to the back of the computer. Power supply is there. We are going to find the power cord right here. Look at your cheat sheet again. Number 5, above the computer, select the block to switch to the back view. We did that. Above power strip, here is the power strip. You see this right here? Here is the power strip. And then in the partial connection, select the power cord. See where it says partial connection? The power cord is there. We click on it. Now drag this to the connection. Wow, we got that ready. So when you see this light turning yellow, another one over here is orange. That is the connection between the extension cord and the power. There's a small switch you gotta turn it on to make sure the back of it is on. Let's go back to your cheat sheet again. AC power connector. Okay, we did that. Number D, on the power supply, select the power switch. We did that. Above the computer, select the front, and then on the computer, select power button. All right, we click on the front, and now we're in the front here. Click the power button. And now we're waiting to see. If you see the flower of the window, we are done. And that is the way you have to do your lab. Boom.